As such, understand that attempting to adapt the Shogun method to your situation will only dilute its effectiveness. 3 core elements of influence. One of the aspects that make the Shogun method different from every other seduction school of thought is that it is endpoint oriented. This means that there is a specific endpoint in mind, and we work backward from that endpoint to where we are currently by asking ourselves this question: what are the things that must line up for us to reach that endpoint? Or specifically, within the context of seducing a woman, what are all the things that must happen for a woman to eventually fall in love with a man? The answer, it turns out, is that there are 3 core elements or levers of human influence that must be present in a relationship for a woman to fall in love. 1. Intrigue. 2. Rapport. 3. Attraction. There is also a 4th core element, enslavement, which is the essential ingredient for a woman to stay in love. We'll talk more about enslavement in the IRE model, which we will describe next in this module. Here's the analogy that I always use to describe how these core elements must line up in order to close the deal with a woman. The metaphor of a safecracker. What a safecracker does to crack a safe is that he spins the dial while he puts his ear on the wall of the safe. He hears a click, and he gets the first number. However, the safe is still locked. What he does next is to spin the dial in the other direction, and he hears the second click. He pulls the lever, and the safe still does not open. He then spins the dial again in the other direction alternately until finally he hears a third click. He finally gets all the 3 numbers all lined up, and the safe door swings open. This is exactly what goes on when you seduce a woman. You're pulling these core levels inside her mind that shifts her perception of you from low or neutral desirability to high desirability. Next, we'll describe what desirability is exactly and its importance. The desirability scale. At the heart of the Shogun method is what we call the desirability scale, which measures how desirable you are perceived to be in her eyes at any given time. When she meets you for the first time, within the first minute or so, she already decides if she likes you. It's more of a gut feel, and she may or may not know this consciously. Now, imagine a continuum of desirability measured from 1 to 10, where 1 represents, theoretically, the lowest level of desirability, to 10 on the other end, which represents maximum desirability. Your goal is to move from the low levels of desirability, although you usually don't have to start at 1 unless she completely despises you, to 10. In the Shogun method, the process of seduction is a transfer of emotion, and that emotion is desirability. Closely related to desirability are the mind control concepts of action limit and pain limit. Simply put, the action limit is the level of desirability that you've got to be at for her to say yes to your request, i.e. to give you her phone number, or to agree to date you, or to kiss you, or to sleep with you, or to be your girlfriend, or to marry you. Every woman has got different action limits, which depends on how committal your requests are. You may not have to be as exceedingly desirable as, say, Brad Pitt for a woman to give you her phone number. On the other hand, a hot supermodel may have impossibly high action limits that merely getting her email address deserves a victory lap around Arc de Triomphe. Pain limit refers to the distress or discomfort that a woman feels related to her interaction with you. Note that this is not a negative thing. In fact, you can easily seduce her if you are seen to hold the key to relieving her of pain and agony. The truth is that humans, both men and women, are motivated more by pain than by pleasure. As such, many of the most effective mind control techniques inside the Shogun method are designed around inducing emotional discomfort inside a woman. The interesting thing about action and pain limits is that they have strong influence on each other. For example, if a woman reaches her pain limit, her action limit is lowered temporarily. For example, if a woman is getting dumped, i.e.,